I want a pocket prairie dog.
Snippins, first of all, isn't that illegal? You can't have a prairie pocket dog. It's illegal.
Prairie dogs aren't illegal.
They're not. Well, in
No,
LA.
in fact,
They're dogs, phony.
Mm.
well, they're rodents, but
Oh,
there's places you can get. They have breeders.
Snippins, it's gonna get out and it's gonna gnaw on your electric cables. You're gonna get a fire in your house. You know
Oh,
how
that
you
would be
are.
great.
You know how you are with your bird. You just let your bird walk all over you and bite you in the face while you're trying to sleep. You don't want that with a rodent in the house. It's irresponsible.
she
You're
doesn't have one. It's not irresponsible yet.
Mm. Well, it's irresponsible to get one when
It's
you're.
like I want caging, but I'm not doing it. So
I'm here with Snippins, Weenus, also known as Precious Boo Boo, Lishy, and today we're talking pets with friends who love to give each other the business.
Do you want me to get you a prairie dog?
I don't. Having a prairie dog just walking around your house is a terrible idea.
I'm gonna get shirts. I'm gonna get pockets sewn to my shirt, and then it's gonna live in my shirt.
How would you keep it in there? You're gonna have what do prairie dogs eat?
skin.
Bugs and fruits and little foods.
Other prairie dogs. What are you gonna
No,
have? What are you gonna have in the pocket to keep it in there?
my love.
Bugs.
Serena prairie dog chow.
Snippins, don't you have a son? Can't you give your son any of this love?
My son doesn't want my love. That's gross.
This prairie dog thing is empty nester syndrome written all
Mm.
over it, isn't it?
They're
Is
so
it, is it because your son's 30 and you can't put him in your pocket anymore? Is that why?
hmm.
Snippins, don't get a prairie dog. You've seen those prairie dog documentaries. They stand up really tall.
Little
They
fucking
go
prairie.
Yahoo. They throw their heads back and go Yahoo.
I don't think they.
Wait, are prairie dogs the ones that go Alan, Alan,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Alan, Alan, Alan?
They're one really loud, and two,
They just go
burrow.
Yahoo.
They're gonna burrow. They're gonna ruin your things. They're gonna bite into your walls. They're gonna rip through your drywall.
No,
I think this is why you should have one, Ramon.
it'll
Mm-mm.
give you something
Keep
to
you
do.
busy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Have I ever told you about how my cat would treat my sweetie?
No.
Oh, he hunted her. He would
Oh.
like cheap shot her. She'd be sitting at her desk and he'd just jump up and bite or slash her arm and then dance off into the night.
Did he want her to chase him? Because one of my cats did want me to chase him, and that's what he.
I
Was
think he wanted me to chase him.
Mm.
Because then I'd have to activate and get involved, and I'd be like, "You little shit," and I'd chase him around the house. He'd be delighted. But when we had him as a kitten, he was a real problem. And at the time, we were in a one bedroom apartment, and sometimes her daughter would be there, so we'd give her the bedroom, and the cat was just terrorizing us. Basically, we'd try to be sleeping on like an air mattress in the living room at the time, and we were getting ready to move into this place, and we had all the cardboard boxes, so we had cordoned him off into like the dining room and kitchen, and built a box wall, thinking like, there we go, we'll segment him off and get a good night's rest. And then we just see the wall shaking, just kind of like wobbling back and forth, and you just hear this like this cat climbed up like a stack of cardboard boxes that was taller than my head, so it was probably 6 to 7 feet high. He climbed up to the top, and you see his little head pop off the top. And we decided we could not jail this cat. And deciding that we could not control him was a big part in actually him mellowing out.
What is that box again?
My cat?
Yes. Show us your cat.
Not your regular cat box.
No, I'm very embarrassed because I have to put a little picture in here. But
Those are your cat's ashes.
yeah, inside. Well, not in here. It's a little foam thing that would back the photo, so you don't like see them. It's sealed inside this box.
Is that because whenever they see a box, cats just climb in, or?
Yeah. Yes. He said, "Put me in that one."
Mm.
That was actually a miniature microwave.
Yep. Keeps him warm. He wasn't a box guy so much. He liked paper bags. Like if you would get like the Amazon delivery bag or whatever, have his head in it, be running around the house and shit.
What is it with cats and those confined spaces? Because nobody really seems to have a solid answer that is.
Ironically, they don't like being locked in anything on purpose.
I know. But then if you give them a box or a bag, they just
They
jump
put them
right in there.
right in. Yeah.
Nobody Yahoos around here.
Alan.
Yahoo!
Alan!
Lishy, do you have any pet stories?
When I was a kid, we had a Siamese cat named Rocky. And the fun thing about Rocky is if you stood there and went like this, he would jump onto your chest for you to catch him. He also liked to be spun around in a circle by his tail. You go up to him and you'd push him over and he'd plop, right? And you'd spin him by his tail on the linoleum. And then he'd stand up and you'd go and put your hand near him and he would fall down on his own and then look up at you. So it's kind of obvious that he wanted to be spun around, you know?
Spin me.
That was fun.
Well, this is a story about my friend. I think you know of who I speak, Lishy, my sweet Joseph. So so at his house, my friend Dan was working in their garage on some woodworking stuff, and then he heard a screech from the inside of the house. So he runs in there, and then they have this cat who's kind of old, and it was just laying in a doorway, and Joe's mom was like, "He's dead. He's dead. It's finally happening. He's dead." And then Dan was like, "Oh God." So he went down to pick up the dead cat and it opened its eyes. And he's like, "Ah." He's like, "No, it's not dead. It's just weirdly slow and sleeping because it's so old." And she's like, "No, any minute now. He's going, sweetie, any minute." And he was like, "Okay, whatever." So he goes back into the garage and he's working on some woodworking or whatever. Then he hears weird, faint singing and humming. And he looks outside, and his mom is coming out of the back into the backyard, and the cat is wrapped up like a mummy in a newspaper, and its little head is sticking out, but its entire body is covered in newspaper. And he's just looking around, and then she's singing to it while walking over to the garden. And Dan's like, "You're not gonna bury this cat. It's still alive." And she's like, "Any minute now, he's going. Any minute." And she puts the mummified cat down and starts digging a hole with her hands. And it's still like moving around and looking. It can't move its paws or anything because she's like cocooned it in the newspaper. And then it like runs over there, and then she like grabs his arms and pushes it away, and then puts the cat in the hole and starts covering it up with the dirt. And he's like trying to stop her, and she's pushing him away. And the last thing he said he saw was an eyeball covered with dirt. And then it was just gone under a mountain of dirt. And he was like, "Oh God." And then he runs back into the garage. He's like, "I'm not doing this anymore." And then he hears howling, crying, just howling, crying. And he goes outside, and she's just bawling over the grave of this cat. And that's the story.
I am now in favor of the prairie dog because I just saw the Yahoo.
What did you think? Very
Fuck
cute.
you, Alan. Yahoo all the way. She needs
It's
a prairie
not-
dog, dude.
It's not prairie dog that I have a problem with. It's Snippins having a prairie dog.
Are you saying
Snippins,
I'm not a responsible pet owner?
Snippins, what do you do with your bird? That bird of yours just walks around, and all you do when you call me, you're like, "Ow, get off me!" And then you're like, "Oh, so
Boney.
ow, get off me,
Boney.
get off me." What?
Is she going to be the worst pet owner of a Yahoo in the world?
No, I just.
Hey, wait. Hang on. So the answer is no. Is she going to be the best?
No.
So on the continuum, she's going to be in the middle. So shut the fuck
That
up.
was nice.
You want to hear Yahoo?
Continuum is how you decide to get a pet in your life. Is you look on the continuum? Is that what you're telling me? You continuum.
You know what? I just know that like I'm not the best dad in the world, but my kid doesn't drink orange soda. He doesn't drink Coke. He doesn't eat at McDonald's. He doesn't use the N-word.
He didn't fall into a bucket of paint like Majesty's cats under your watch.
He's a good kid.
Does he think that numbers have personalities and genders?
No, not that I know of, but we never talked
Does he
about
scrapbook?
Does he scrapbook?
it. No, he doesn't. Snippins.
I don't scrapbook either.
She journals.
I journal.
See,
Snippets.
men keep a log.
I'm just concerned knowing the
Captain's
things about
log.
that I know. That's all. And the things that have been documented on this show about snippets.
My cat passed away just like a year and a half ago, and he just got sick and just stopped eating, which is very not common for him because he ate like a demon basically. And it was over the course of like a week. We just watched him deteriorate and finally got him into the vet. They told us his kidney was failing, or liver or kidney. I can't quite remember which. But there was a couple of times like over the nights where I'd be watching him and just thinking like, oh, he's going, you know. And then he would make it through the night and still just be dragging his little fat ass around the house and stuff. It was pretty wild, man, how long he held on for. But it is, you watch them and you do see like it looks like they're about to slip away, you know. They have that kind of like, I mean, even a healthy cat, they get so still sometimes sleeping. You're like, is it alive? And you have to shake them, but you know.
But I wouldn't wrap it in newspaper and put it in the garden.
I wouldn't bury it. I would be very sure before I buried it. Yes.
You know, we can't judge.
Buried alive. Well, I'm not judging. I'm just laughing at it at the start.
I mean, the cat was looking around.
I had a cat that a kitten, and he would, he had one of those play toys. It's like a fishing pole with a lure on the end. And the minute my friend's mom used to make them, and my friend brought it into the house, and this cat jumped about 5 feet to get at it. From the second that toy was introduced, he was all over it, and we could get him to do like, 1.5 somersaults in the air after this thing, like really get some air. He also liked NASCAR. He would paw at the TV while the cars were going around. He's a good cat.
Just like NASCAR fans.
94 earthquake. He ran away and anyway, well, we lost him in a move. Yeah, so that was sad. But man, Biscuit could really jump. And then I got a cat from we went to the pound, and it was this really good looking cat in cage number 15. And so we called him 15, which that turned into teen. And then we called him Ting Ting. And then my one friend came over and pounded on his head like a bell desk. Ting, ting, ding, 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 ding. That's awesome. But that cat, he loved beans. Any type of bean, like a white bean in your soup, or a kidney bean, or a green bean, the string beans. If you put it on the table next to you, he would like munch it. He just loved beans. Strangest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I've never had a cat who liked beans. Weird.
We had this little.
But they like weird. I mean, cats are very notoriously finicky about what they eat.
Yeah.
And then I remember we did a 24-hour shoot in the desert, and I came home exhausted, and it was light out, even like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I go inside my house, my apartment, and there's a rodent on the floor. It's brown and white, and my cat Ting Ting is like pawing at it, but not violently, but just like, what are you?
Checking.
What the hell are you?
Yeah.
There's this thing here. Look, there's a thing here, and I'm about to smash it, right? Because it's a rodent. And I'm like, you know what? This thing kind of looks like a hamster. So I went upstairs to the apartment above us because they had kids, and I'm like, do you guys have a hamster? They're like, yeah. It's in my apartment. And they came down and got this fluffy little,
Oh, the cat didn't attack it or anything?
Sometimes
but
they
it
have
was
the killer
like,
instinct.
more like, hey, you are
Get out of
not
here.
normally here,
Yeah.
and I don't know what you are. I'm not going to eat you because you're not a bean.
Didn't have a mouse tail for it to pounce upon.
He was a hamster.
Yeah.
I as a
Just
kid,
a
we
little
had
nub.
habit trail.
Yeah, hamsters are escape artists. I've had a hamster before.
Because they can like flatten out.
Yeah, they get through. They're just like, and a mouse can get into the smallest little crack in your house too. They're like They almost have no bones. Those little disgusting.
They're track addicts.
Mm.
Yahoo!
Woohoo!
Snippins, you're not gonna get a prairie dog. That's a
You know what? I probably won't, but that doesn't mean I don't want one.
My doctor always sticks her finger in my butt.
Oh, your
What?
audio's off.
I'm always dying to say, well, when's my turn?
Well, when you go and they put a finger up your butt, it's a female doctor that does it.
Yes.
Oh,
She's my
What a
PCP.
treat.
when she does that, do you go Yahoo?
Yahoo!
You should.
You should Yahoo next time. So I have tallied our votes, and feel free to write in the comments section who you think is never right in this episode.
It's made it so I haven't had to go get a colonoscopy. She's
Yeah.
like, well, you can get colonoscopy, or I can just do it right here. I can just do a digital. I'm like, okay. It's like, oh yeah, you're 50 years old. You have a enlarged prostate, like every other 50-year-old.
You're never right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more content from the Never Right podcast.